Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Van Chan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you Chapter 9, Section 3 of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
S.
Ah.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Author Conan Doyle. Chapter 9, Section 3. On examining it. However, I found that this deposit was a comparatively small one, and left both of them, however, in the grounds of my neighbours, valuable as a gold mine. Naturally, it was to my interest to buy their land before they discovered its true value, but unfortunately I had no capital by which I could do this. I took a few of my friends into the secret. However, the neighbouring fields. This we have now been doing for some time. And in order to help us in our operations, we erected a hydraulic press. This press, as I have already explained, has got out of order, and we wish your advice upon the subject. We got our secret courageously. However, it would soon rouse inquiry, and then, if the facts came out, plans, human being that you are going to Iford tonight. I quite follow you, said I, of a hydraulic press and excavating fuller's earth. Which, as I understand, said he carelessly, we have our own process. We compress the earth into bricks, so as to remove them without revealing what they are. But that is a mere detail. I have taken you fully into my confidence now. Mr. Atherley. And I have shown you how I trust you. He rose as he spoke. I shall expect you. Then, and not a word to a soul, he looked at me with a last long, questioning gaze. And then, pressing my hand in a cold, then grasp, he hurried from the room. Well, astonished, as you may both think, at this sudden commission which had been entrusted to me. On the one hand, of course, I was got a price upon my own services, and it was possible that this order might lead to other ones. On the other hand, the face and manner of my patron had made an unpleasant impression upon me. The necessity for my coming at midnight, and his extreme anxiety lest I should tell anyone of my errand. However, I threw all fears to the winds, ate a hearty supper, drove to Paddington, and started off, having obeyed to the letter the injunction as to holding Myton. At reading, I had to change not only my carriage but my station. However, I was in time for the last train to Iford, and I reached the Little Dunnet station after 11 o'clock. I was the only passenger who got out there until, as I passed out through the wicket gate. However, I found my acquaintance of the morning waiting in the shadow upon the other side. Without a word he grasped my arm and hurried me into a carriage, the door of which was standing open. He drew up the windows on either side, tapped on the woodwork. One horse interjected Holmes. Yes, Is. I saw it by the side lights when I was stepping into the carriage. Oh. Thank you. I am sorry to have interrupted you. Away we went then. And we drove for at least an hour. Colonel Lysander Stark had said that it was only 7 miles. But I should think, from the rate that we seemed to go, and from the time that we took, that it must have been near 12. He sat at my side in silence all the time, and I was aware, more than once when I glanced in his direction, that he was looking at me with great intensity. Country roads seemed to be not very good in that part of the world, for we lurched and jolted terribly. I tried to look out of the windows to see something of where we were, but they were made of frosted glass, and I could make out nothing save the occasional bright blur of a passing light. Now and then I hazarded some remark to break the monotony of the journey, but the Colonel answered only in monosyllables, and the conversation seemed vague. At last, however, the bumping of the road was exchanged for the crisp smoothness of a gravel drive, and the carriage came to a stand. Colonel Lysander Stark sprang up, and then, as I followed after him, pulled me swiftly into a porch which gaped in front of us. We stepped, as it were, right out of the carriage and into the house. The instant that I had crossed the threshold, the door slammed heavily behind us, and I heard faintly the rattle of the wheels as the carriage drove away. It was pitch dark inside the house, and the Colonel fumbled about looking for matches and muttering under his breath. Suddenly a door opened at the other end of the passage, and a long, golden bar of light shot out in our direction. It grew broader, and a woman appeared with a lamp in her hand, which she held above her head, pushing her face forward and praying at us. I could see that she was pretty, that it was a rich material, a Christian. The lamp nearly fell from her hand. Colonel Stark went up to her, whispered something in her ear, and then, pushing her back into the room from whence she had come, he walked towards me again with the lamp in his hand. Said he, throwing open another door. It was a quiet, little, plainly finished room, with a round table in the centre, on which several German books were scattered. Colonel Stark laid down a lamp on the top of a harmonium beside the door. "I shall not keep you waiting an instant," said he, and vanished into the darkness. I glanced at the books upon the table. Were treatises on science, the others being volumes of poetry. Then I walked across to the window, hoping that I might catch some glimpse of the countryside. But an oak shutter, heavily barred. To be continued.